Oh, I'm sorry. We live now, ain't we? Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. We are Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. And we are so excited. You already know because we have a special guest with us on tonight, and y'all already know what it is. And baby, he said he gonna hang out with us for the whole show. So before we get into it, let me go ahead and familiarize you all with what's gonna happen on tonight's show. Of course, you're gonna hear from tonight's guest, and of course, we're gonna take a trip merrily down the stream. We might sidestep and share our views from the petty pew and get into that powerful and impactful roundtable discussion. What's really going on? And of course, we will feast at the table of wisdom presented by our sister, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, a reflection of purpose. Y'all already know y'all gonna come back healed and whole after receiving them words from our sister on tonight. So before we get it going, I gotta go ahead and say, Karen, how you doing tonight? How was your day?
They was pretty good. It's some challenges. I see some new things coming on the horizon, and during that time, we just got to remain focused and strategize on who we gonna tell off, or if we gonna tell somebody off, or keep that Holy Ghost banner held up high. That part. So if we never can tell which kind of day. I could say nobody that I recall got told out today. They might have got a nice direction because Coach Karen is always in the building. So yeah, I got some things, and I even got threaded myself. I need you to know. So shout out to the folks who called me up to make sure I stay threaded as well.
No, you got threaded, girl.
I did. I got threaded. It was some advice that I had given to somebody else, and they were like, this could apply to you. I think I told them off. There it is. Okay. Ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe in these streets. It's like, if you get out my corner, like I'm here for you. Nobody ain't asked you. That part. So a little tilt in that thing there.
A little tight adjustment, little slight adjustment.
Slight.
Well,
off, so.
Whoever it was that stepped to you is clearly titanium, okay? As iron sharpens iron, because you are of the strongest type, my sister. So whoever it is, you brave, you bold, you smart, and you was kind, and you was important. Go ahead, Karen. I'm so sorry, sis. What were you saying?
I just was going to check in with you and see how things are going. It's been a whirlwind of a couple of weeks, and yeah. We've been out here and doing things, so I got to get a couple of days check in with you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm trying to survive the onset of allergy season. I promise you, we live in the heavily wooded area, and every tree of every kind seems to be in bloom right now. And I really want to scratch my eyes out. But I don't think that that's the visual that you all would like to see here on the Unhinged Live platform. So we're not going to get into too much of that tonight. If you see the excessive blinking, it's because it feels like it's baby boulders under my eyelids, and I'm just trying to do all right. My new plant children, they're doing well. I don't know if you can see them. I put them in the background so y'all can see.
Over yonder.
Over where it say girl boss. Yeah, they flourishing. I'm so proud of myself. I've had these plant children for about 3-4 months. I actually repotted them. Everybody is alive. And I look forward to adding more to my garden. They may be part of the reason why my allergies are bugging out. But going through this whole empty nest syndrome thing, it's a little different for me because I really don't miss them kids. Oops, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. But I needed something to take care of. And because my schedule is so busy, I got some plants because they require less food and more water than anything. So they're easy to care for. So, yeah, that's enough about me. Yeah, man, enough about me. I want to go ahead and not delay the hour any further. and go ahead and bring our guest for tonight into the room. So for
Yes.
those of you who are tuning in, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready to hear from our guest on tonight. Our guest tonight is a phenom hailing up out of the state of Virginia. He is a hip hop artist. And before that, can I share with you all that he loved him some Lord? He loves Jesus, y'all. He loves God, and he uses his craft to spread the gospel, y'all. Not only is he a hip hop gospel artist, he is also a digital and he is absolutely hilarious. Brother makes me laugh at least 3 whole times a day. So without further ado, I know I hear that faint knocking on the door. Karen, please let our guest into the
We're gonna
room.
let him in. Come on now. Y'all know how we welcome
Come
out
on in the
the
room.
hallway.
Come
How's it going?
on
How's it going?
in the room. Hey, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I see you over there looking nice and handsome. You're well coordinated. You're well coordinated.
I
We're
try.
gonna have a conversation about what's printed on your apparel tonight as we delve into the conversation with you.
Okay.
So before we get it started, I gotta clarify something. Because Karen had the same question, and I must admit, I too am a tad bit confused as to what to call you on tonight. Because I know you as DJ Davis, but your artist name is Walt Leon. But first of all, what do you want us to call you tonight on this here platform? Because you family, okay? So because I already put that out there, the Kool-Aid is over there in the refrigerator in the corner. Help yourself. What are we calling you tonight?
Hey, we could just go with DJ for the night.
All right, this
Like you
is
said, it's
DJ.
family. It is family.
This is family. So listen, you all, just to give you a brief background on how I came in contact with this brother. Y'all all know that I'm sister to the Red Ink Radio Live family and now the Red Ink Cast family. And years ago, we put on a community event down in Hampton, Virginia. And I got to get my boogie on with this young brother right here. And I tell you, I watched him perform, and he had so much energy right there in that humid behind part. I promise you, the devil put his pinky toe on that part of Virginia. But allow me to digress. So tonight, DJ, my first question, for you is it's got a little duality to it because I want you to share with our listeners who you are. Who's DJ Davis, and why do you perform as Walt Leon?
So my actual real name is Walter Leon Davis Jr. So growing up, my mom used to say Walter, and my dad and I would both respond. So they said they had to do something about it. So they went through the initials to get a nickname, and no other nickname sounded right. They went through WL. It just don't sound good saying it. At a time when things weren't so sensitive, you go to LD. That was a learning disability, so they didn't call me that. So they got to DJ, and that's what they chose. But I go by Walt Leon because when I first started doing music, I went by the name Fresh D, and I did secular music. And then once I had a situation, and God saved my life, and I'm blessed to be here. And I made that promise that I would get back to who I really am, born and raised in the church, and I would give it all the glory to God. So I went by my actual name. And I also wanted to honor my father because I stressed my parents out a whole lot growing up. So this is the way I could honor him by doing something the correct way with our name. So I chose Walt Leon just to honor my father, keep my word to God with him keeping me alive through all the situations and everything that I've been through, and make my family proud as well.
All right now. Now I love that. Now I don't know if I can call you DJ after that whole story. Like I feel like I gotta get on into it. Now you started talking a little bit about your family and was talking a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about where did you grow up and what was it like for you growing up in your hood?
I grew up in Hampton, Virginia, but I was a community center kid, and it wasn't like I wasn't at home being a community center kid. My mom worked at one of the community centers in downtown Newport News, like in the hood. So I was from Hampton, but I was always in Newport News. Then my mom was also a school teacher, and she also was a track coach, but she taught tap, ballet, jazz, gymnastics. So performance arts was my life. I was the hard-headed child. You know how there's always one. I was the one.
I got 5 of them, so I don't know what to tell you on
my
that.
sister was the straight A. Yeah. My sister was the straight A student. I did just enough to pass the class. Then I also was diagnosed with ADHD. So I was a high energy kid. Didn't have to be as rough as I made it and as wild as I made it. Like I said, I stressed my parents out. So I was outside a lot, basketball courts, on the street, doing stuff, fighting a lot. My mom is very clever, so she got her hands in on me fighting, and she realized she knew what was gonna stop me from being a tough guy all the time. And she played me, she got me good. So
Well, listen, your mother is very petite in her stature. Great woman. Go ahead and acknowledge your mama right here and right now, because it was my pleasure to meet her and dance with her. She taught me how to soul bounce. Go ahead, DJ.
Hey, shout out to my mom. 1, for not giving up on me. 2, for blackmailing me to stand in church even when I went to college. But also, constantly praying for me, having my back. And she always promised me, as long as I was doing right and doing something for God, she will always support me and always have my back. And she stayed true to that as well. Even when I was messing up and she was bailing me out, she still supported me. But like, just to see the smile on her face, my mother's an amazing person, and she's the epitome of no excuses. If it's not there, if it's not made, a lane's not made for you, go create one and make it happen. So, and I say that because she went to at first she went to Hampton Institute for college. And then she transferred to Christopher Newport. When she got to Christopher Newport, they didn't have a women's track team. She was the only woman on the track team and started the women's track program at Christopher Newport. They also didn't have AKAs, so she was on the first line of AKAs there. So when I say, if it's not there, go create it. She had small feet, but leave big shoes to fill.
All right now.
Well, clearly you've been taking notes, DJ, and you've been kind of mentioning something about your past and you doing some things that may have vexed your parents in their spirits. And I really enjoy it when our guests come on and they share their testimonies of victory and overcoming. I know there's at least one young man tuning in tonight that's going to hear a little piece of this conversation. Would you mind sharing some of the folly that you had got caught up in and how you overcame it with your faith?
It's a lot. From a lot of fights. I mean, by the age of 4, I had 29 stitches in my head because I was wild. I was a little daredevil. Growing up, I used to try to be Evel Knievel, so we spent a lot of time in the hospitals to the point where I was 4 years old. I think I've been in there 3 or 4 times to get stitches in my head. They took my mom out the room and had to ask her, they had to ask me, like, are you being abused at home or anything like that? But all of my wounds were self-inflicted. Running in the trees, jumping off the school buildings, different crazy things. Running inside with socks on, not supposed to, so I'm slitting my head on the corner of the wall. Just scares like that. And then as I got older and I was outside a lot, I fought in school, I fought a lot, and on the playground, I fought a lot. And my mom got to the point where she was like, you won't stop fighting. Giving you spankings not working, punishment's not working. So she came with the idea that if you keep fighting, I'm going to make you cheer on the team that your sister is the captain of. So in 4th grade, I had to be a cheerleader.
Wow.
And that's when I stopped fighting at school.
Okay, mom.
Shout out to your mom.
Mom is a special.
Shout out to your mom.
Hold on. Now listen, Walt Leon, I'm a mother of 5 children. Okay? We about to get real with this one right now, because not only do we get the opportunity to celebrate your mom, we're gonna have to have her come roll through as a guest on here too. But
Yes, yes.
that right there, I know that I'm crafty with the bribes and threats that brought my children through. Prayers first, bribes and threats second. That one right there, I don't have that one in my arsenal.
Look,
Okay?
Mm-mm.
Whoa.
it gets worse though, because we grew up in the church. We grew up in the church, and
Clever.
whew, we was in the church all the time. And I told my mom growing up, I said, when I get older, I'm never going to church again. I transferred to Ohio University, and she said, in order to take your truck to Ohio, you got to find a church to go to not let your car come out there. I had a church in 2 weeks.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you wasn't even a doubt. Was not a doubt. Was not a doubt. Wasn't a doubt. And to tell you, them boys would come to church with me because it was actually connected to their meals. But that's a whole nother story. You know? Like, you could not come. You could not come, and people would be like, "How you get your kids to come?" Listen, they under this roof and eat this food. Them is the 2 prerequisites. Okay, yes, you're gonna work somewhere. Yes, you're gonna go to school. But here is the ticket to the refrigerator and the key to the front door, honey. What? As for me and my house, that part right there. Child, yeah. I don't even know your mama.
And we shall.
Salute.
Salute to your mother. That, yeah. I would have. No, I love it too. So now, after you got that church home, and that's why you're different. You had to get creative gifts from someplace. So did she call the church to find out that you went every week? How did she keep up with your church attendance?
No, she didn't call. So I ended up growing up. Again, she taught dance, gymnastics, but we also had a drill team called the Word Gospel Step Team, and we drilled and stepped the scriptures. So she had the drill team and everything. We also did hip hop dances like Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond and everything like that. At the time, that was the Christian hip hop. Well, I got out to Ohio because when I was at Virginia Union, I was on a hip hop dance team. Got to Ohio, they didn't have one. So at the church that I was at, I joined their dance ministry and added a hip hop branch under their dance ministry as well. So she knew I was there at least 3 days a week because of practices and then service. So it was in me already, and so she knew I was there. And then we had a weekend where her drill team from Virginia came out to Ohio, and we all collaborated and had a whole weekend and did a thing together. So
I love it. So now, we gonna try to get some focus on you, but like I'm loving these mom stories. I need you to know, okay? Because we got a lot of moms that follow us. That's they're either watching right now or they'll be watching on the replay, and a lot of them are where Tilted and I were and as far as raising children, and they've got kids that I'm sure are having similar conversations. I'm too grown for this, that's for the babies, that's for what it is, and they ready to take off to whatever they think the world gonna give them. That's always the fun part. It's like y'all think something is out there that ain't really out there, but okay. But can you tell us, was there possibly a significant event in your life that sparked you to choose the Christian genre for like your music and where just your heart and your passion is coming out?
There were a few events. And the first one happened, and I still backslid and chose another route. But I used to do growing up. It was illegal, but I did backyard street fighting, and my parents didn't know I was doing it, but it was my way of making money. I hung around the wrong crowd, but they also knew I played sports, so they didn't let me get into what they were into. So I did backyard street fighting, and after one of the fights, I beat the guy, and he tried to rob me of the money I just won. He put a gun to the back of my head. Wow. And when he pressed the gun to the back of my head, I was a hothead. Again, I was wild. I was a hothead. He said, run it. I didn't get the money up. He pulled the trigger and I heard the gun click. It jammed on him. I knew at that point I should have been gone. And that was when I was 17. I knew I should have been gone, but God had plans for my life. I still ended up fighting that guy to, survive and get away from that situation. And I said I was never going back to that. And I still did the secular music route for a while. But in 2008, I was playing basketball at Ohio University, and I had two cousins on the team, JJ and John. They called us the Three Amigos. Our birthdays are April, May, June. We did everything together growing up. Graduated high school together and everything. We was in practice on February the 4th, 2008. And my cousin John got a steal, passed the ball to me. I passed to my other cousin, JJ. JJ made the layup. He said, good job, fam. Let's get another one. And then he collapsed on the court right in front of us. He died right there in front of us, and that's when we were told he had an enlarged heart, and nobody knew it until he passed. It was at that moment where music was actually his dream first out of everybody. John played drums at his church in Virginia, in Ohio. He was my original producer when I first started making music. He was in a band in high school. He had like the drumstick tattoos and all the music symbols. Music was his dream. And I said, since he can't live it out, I will. And I told God, you kept me here for a reason, and give it all to you. And we're going to do this with the purpose and keep living out this dream for John. And been pushing ever since.
I love it. We are grateful for the inspiration that you are sharing. And I mean, these are real life stories,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that can always relate, we know, to our viewers and listeners, because it's nothing fake or made up around here, but the power in just the snippets that you are giving us right now, I promise you, heartfelt. And I know that, you will continue to reach so many people with just the realness of your story, and shout out to your family on how you all, I'm sure, had to stick together to get through such a difficult time. And a lot of times, we never can really understand the loss of young lives, and back in the day, it used to, it's not that these were regular occurrences. We would have that thought, I'm going to live forever, because we actually would have that. Like, that was a thing. But now we see more often that life is very fleeting and takes no regard to person, station, economic background, who your mama and daddy is in the church, and even the work that you're doing. And so, even as you were able to see your cousin give it everything that he had on the court, me being able to be introduced to you and your music, like, it's such an inspiration to hear kind of the behind the scenes. And hopefully, our listeners are seeing it as well. Me, I'm always trying to post up with the folks following us. We already got it out there. Mary, thanks for sharing an amazing testimony. And I keep saying, and that's a snippet of the backyard fight. I'm sitting here like, wait, what? I'm gonna whoop you, okay?
I got a lot of whoopings going up. Got a whole lot of whoopings.
That's why you could fight. Because you know how to, you was learning. Whatever lash you took, you was learning.
I got a lot of whoopings. My mom ended up putting me in karate because I kept fighting as well. From age 5 to 8, I think I got a whooping every day.
Lord. But that's why your mama had to be creative, because you can't whoop the kids but so much before they actually, like, she knew they was going to be asking, if I keep whooping this boy, they're going to come over here and think it's me. So let me go ahead. I love it because a lot of times, they're still unruly children. You know what I mean? So just like us, I promise you, one of my biggest things that I love, Walt Leon, and my kids will tell you, I love the fact for the ones that got children and then they kids start acting up. That's all I'm gonna say for that. Cause that payback, woo, that's all I got to say on that. So
that payback is real.
Aren't as their dad.
That payback is really real.
So now that you're a dad, do you feel like you appreciate even more, one, the experience that your parents had raising you, I'm gonna call it an experience that your parents had raising you, and what have you learned from yourself that kind of has directed you in this journey of fatherhood?
One, I can say I really appreciate the fact that my kids aren't as daredevilish as I am. I can say that. My kids actually tend to think before they do stuff. They don't jump and then think in midair. So I'm grateful of that. But I can say I've learned a lot. You know, the whole gift of not giving up, because oftentimes as a parent in the house, you thinking I'm doing all this talking, all like I'm trying to teach all of this, and you're not listening. Like, why is it not getting through to you? But then when you go out in public and people telling you your kids are so well mannered, your kids doing an amazing job, they're offering help, like they're so polite, and I'm just looking at where is this kid at home? But at the same time, I also think back to no, I also think back to I didn't. They often say, "Oh, the behavior started at home." I think back, you couldn't tell that my sister and I came from the same household. Her behavior started at home. I don't know where mine came from, but it was just here. So I'm grateful that
Oh, mercy.
I had parents that showed, not giving up. No excuses, don't quit. And for a long time, I was upset with my dad because I was like, all these other kids, dads at their football games, my dad ain't never there. He's always at work. My parents been married since they was 19 and 20 years old. My mom was 19,
That's
my dad was 20.
beautiful.
They're still married now. My dad was in the house, but he used to work 12 and 16-hour shifts.
Mm,
I didn't understand. I used to get
yeah.
mad because he wasn't physically at my football games. I didn't realize my mom was a school teacher and they've been underpaid since the beginning of that job. But
Come
we
on.
lights never cut off, we never kicked out the house, never evicted, water never shut off. We always had food. And then all these kids whose parents were at the games, they were coming over our house to eat because they didn't know if they was going to be able to eat food. So it didn't hit me until I started having to miss my kids' events. And I had a better appreciation for the sacrifice that my dad made working the 12-hour shift 7 days a week for months at a time, working 16-hour shifts. And then my mom not giving up and always finding a way to get any of, not just her two biological kids, but her many of foster kids and the community kids that stayed at our house, got all of us to our practices and locations and events and everything with no excuses. So it was a different level of sacrifice that I learned. And, being able to be stern without it being abusive.
Yes.
Good stuff.
And
Yes.
now
That's
it's a very thin line now that they call everything abuse. But I know every whooping I had, I deserved that and some. So I learned that balance of, yes, be stern, but don't hold on to it, let it go, and still be a father and still be able to enjoy life. Don't just be upset all the time.
Love it.
With your children. So, I could talk about this for days.
Listen. We still got a little bit more time.
yes. And we are here for it. We are here for it.
Yes. So now
We are here for it. And for those of you
with a quick question, because I'm seeing the hat and the logos and whatnot. Save not solved.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do tell.
So what I've learned is a lot of people think because you're saved that you just supposed to automatically turn the other cheek and they can talk to you any kind of way. And what I like to say is I learned something from Bishop Shannon Sharp. He said, turn the other cheek is in the Bible. I ain't in there.
Oh.
You not, and people think because you're saved that they can just say whatever they want to you and treat you any kind of way and get away with it. Like you're going to just turn the other cheek and let them keep treating you any kind of way. I have boundaries for my life as well. And just because I'm saved and I suppress a lot of the old me and let go of let the old me die so I can be who God need me to be, it's still in there. So run up on my family and you're not gonna run off. I promise you that one. So you still gotta come correct. Just because I'm saved don't mean I'm soft. Don't get it confused. They don't have nothing to do with each other.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, listen, I'm here for all of it. And I'm sure you could tell, DJ, that neither Karen nor I are soft in any way, shape, or form. Unless you come for, our feminine, fluffy parts. We soft that way. But ain't nothing soft about near one of us. And, Tilted Halo, it could be whatever, right, Karen?
All day. All day.
It could be whatever over here, all right? And because we have not forgotten. I love that you brought that out in your brand representation, because I had an experience yesterday, and you actually just ministered to me. You don't even know it. I work part-time at a grocery store, and I had a situation where I was checking my own knowledge of etiquette, and how to conduct yourself properly in public, and face a situation where I had to pray on site because this lady was finna to get it and she didn't even know. Okay, can y'all help me? Look, DJ, you finna be a counselor in the interview, okay? Help me out here.
Okay.
Do you find it rude for people to, when they go to give you money? Is it rude for them to lay it on the table? Or put it in? Would you prefer them to put it in your hand? What is your understanding about the act of transacting money? Is it hand to hand? Is that the general overall courtesy, or is it considered rude for that money to be put on the table as opposed to handed to you?
Put it in my hand like I put it in yours. I had to respect to hand it to you. You hand it back.
Okay, so I just want to make sure it wasn't just me, because lately, I've been delving heavily into my blackness. All right. And sometimes I question, why am I watching this right now? I'm getting so angry. And I'm not an angry person, but this lady decided to lay some money down in front of me when I clearly had my hand out. So that's where I had to pray not to jump on the pedicure, Karen, in public. So thank you for ministering to me and reminding me it's okay for me to be saved, but I ain't got to be soft. I handled the situation in a nice way, but I didn't give her receipt. I just laid her receipt down in front of her and looked at her. I hope she took the message. I think it bothered me mostly because, I think it bothered me mostly because I saw the cross hanging around her neck. But it was just unfortunate that she was of a lighter hue. She was of a lighter hue, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, thank you. You just ministered to me. And thank you for those of you who are tuning in. You've tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims, and tonight's guest, DJ Davis, also known as Walt Leon. I want to go ahead and say thank you to all of our replay viewers who are going to hit play at a later date and time. We appreciate you as well. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to all of our YouTube channels, as well as our different Facebook locations. They're there on the flyer. They're there on the group. And of course, I just mentioned the group. If you're not in the group, well, come on over there and engage in some of our shenanigans. We are with Tilted Halo right there on Facebook. You're going to get a little music. You're going to get a little inspiration. And of course, you're going to get a little ha-ha, kiki, because we like to keep it funny with the joy tsunami we're creating with Unhinged Live. So we're going to continue our conversation with DJ on tonight. You share with us how you conceptualize Sage Not Soft. I see you have it on your shirt. What is it, See a Life?
Oh, See a Life.
What does your shirt say, brother? Because I can't see all of it.
Oh, yeah, See a Life, Touch a Life, Change a Life.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes around it. In the middle, that's actually a picture of me. Something I do a lot when I perform. Like I put one finger in the air and I point to God. I didn't realize I did it a lot until I have my aunt Sharon, and she does like comedy and she does art. She comes to a lot of my events, and she said, "You know, you do this a lot." And she sent me about 6 pictures from different events where I was doing this. She said, "You should do something with that." So I turned it into the logo for the company. And it's hard to copy somebody when it's actually them that's the logo. But the company I've always had Touch Life. And the whole thing is, no matter what you do in your day, when you come in contact with somebody, you should be able to touch their life in a positive manner. So even if all you do is smile, that can be contagious enough to turn their day around and leave them smiling versus frowning and being upset. And just bring a positive attitude and positive energy to everybody you come in contact with, so they can leave you better than when they came in contact with you.
Love it. Say that one more time. See a life. Tell us the whole thing again.
It's see a life, touch a life, change a life.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. That's an amazing concept.
That's what's up. So look, I know I mentioned that I got to dance with you and your mom when we did the soul bounce.
Yes,
Can you tell me what your inspiration was behind the soul bounce? And I want to also know, did you choreograph the dance yourself?
yes, I choreographed the dance. I wrote the song. Only thing I didn't do was produce the beat. But the whole thing was the lyrics and the chorus are your steps to navigate through life. You know, you'll go left. Sometimes in life you'll turn left, sometimes you go right. But no matter what you do, you don't let it disturb your soul. Sometimes in life you get turned around, but you still are alive, so you have a chance to keep pressing forward. So you just get to, celebrate that you're still here through all that you've been through, because we don't look like what we've been through. That was an old school testimony. So it's pretty much the new school way of saying I don't look like what I've been through. And even when life gets twisted up, things don't look like you planned them to. You don't know what God's plan is. He may be telling you no to something that you thought you really wanted to protect you from the dangers that you didn't know was down that road. So it's so many different avenues, and that's why the dance is cross left to right and let your soul bounce. So no matter which direction you go, don't let what you're going through disrupt your soul.
Mm. I love it. I love it. I love it. And
Amazing.
I don't know what's going on over here in the Service Electric Wi-Fi stratosphere in New Jersey. But we're gonna rebuke the Wi-Fi spirit in the name of Jesus. We don't know what's going on here.
Together.
Yeah, I'm gonna need whatever's happening. Y'all got a postcard in the mail. Y'all done told me, y'all done gave me 50 more books of speed on my Wi-Fi that in the paying for on Obama's internet. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all life. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all life. Just so pardon me if I'm sitting here going, looking real studious, because I got y'all sounding like me every now and again on my end. And I'm doing my best to sit here and look all engaged as if I heard you and you did not sound like Ant-Man, all right?
Oh, man.
So yeah, man. So look, Karen, did you make you some dance space back there like I asked you to, or is that a no-go tonight?
I made some space. I don't know what we gonna do with it. You asking questions and whatnot. I never know what.
You know what? I might spare you because I was hoping that you would show us how to do the soul bounce. It's a wonderful dance. Did you just back up? Are you ready to teach the dance tonight, DJ?
Oh, I'm still sitting in the same spot, but if I need to, I will.
What? Look, who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? All right. Y'all know I like to get stupid. If y'all want to see me tilt the Halos dance tutorial live with DJ Davis on that soul bounce tip, put a 1 in the comments. I want to see something. I see hearts flying, but I don't see no Do we see some ones?
However, we could share the video with y'all in the Unhinged Live. So
wait a minute, it's a one in the it's a one in the chat.
Go ahead on over to Unhinged Live, and we will get you a video right over there. Okay, I'm gonna learn. I don't know what it is, but we about to learn. So let me see.
We about to learn. Now, listen, our brother gives instructions on the dance as it's flowing. You getting that together, DJ Twisted Threads?
Which one? Like the actual soul bounce? So yeah.
The actual song is fine.
Get together, so.
Wait a minute, look. Brother got a wire out. He stay ready, clearly.
I love it. And now I can play the music in the background.
Oh man. So look, as I busted,
let me know.
As I have busted up the room as I tend to do, Karen, you didn't issue the warning to the people tonight to have their tilted passports ready tonight, because you never know where I'm gonna go here at the Unhinged Live show. It appears, look, DJ got a little shine on his face. Look like he ready to dance or something. He connected a wire from what I see. Oh, wait a minute. What is this, Sister Mary? Okay.
We got a couple of ones, but they also want to know, can they practice at home too for the soul bounce? So that's a yes to that, Sister Mary. So we're gonna see what we can do here. And then we in the background. So what we could do is we got a twofold thing. Because now Walt Leon, we could play the music in the video so that the people could see it. Or if we just play the music and then they see me fumbling around with some soul bounce.
Yeah, I could boogie in the background. I think we want to play that soul bounce. Going to get the people what they want, what they need.
All right.
Either way works for me. You can play the video, or either way works for me.
All right, we gonna give us a little bit of video action, and then on the side, you give me a thumbs up when we need to kind of take a break and review the tutorial, if that works.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now
that works.
Soul Bounce from Walt Leon featuring Carlos Anthony. This your Soul Bounce, the official video. Y'all ready? I ain't either. Here we go though. We should be getting up now.
Cross left to right and make you soul bounce. Turn around, bring it back, let you soul bounce. Slide back, take another look. Soul bounce. Right there, celebrate as you soul bounce. Shake the weight off your shoulders and let you soul bounce. Keep shaking, get it all on. Soul bounce. Oh, don't it feel good when you soul bounce? Now turn to the right, let you soul bounce. And enjoy, no more stress.
All right, you can pause it.
Oh, what a relief it is. I'm doing things I never thought that I could do, cause in the small body, a lot of power. Pikachu, dust it off and never stop trying. First you get the cold, pressure makes the diamond. If the homeless man can be grateful for the project, you should rejoice, it's just a part of the process. Cross left to right and make you soul bounce. Turn around, bring it back, let you soul bounce. Slide back, take another look. Soul bounce. Right there, celebrate as you soul bounce. Shake the weight off your shoulders and let you soul bounce. Keep shaking, get it all on. Soul bounce. Oh, don't it feel good when you soul bounce? Now turn to the right, let you soul bounce. The situation that you thought you'd never make it out will soon turn into the life that you dream about. Be grateful, realize when you get more, what you have now is what you once prayed for. It's a beautiful sight, even when you're not looking. It hit your soul like grandma's cooking. Don't be upset about a pound, celebrate the ounce. Every step of the way, just let your soul bounce. Cross left to right and make your soul bounce. Turn around, bring it back, let your soul bounce.
Listen, we are getting in it.
All right, our dance instructor is up, And he seems like he needs a student. How you doing, brother? Thank you.
I'm well. I'm well.
Oh wait, somebody's appreciating your shimmy, Karen. All right, what's the first steps to this dance here, sir? Y'all like my tie-dye pants? I came ready tonight. Let's go.
We glad it's something at the bottom. We appreciate you. So something being at the bottom.
You know, I remember today.
Well, look, we're gonna walk through the steps real quick then.
All right.
So the first step is you cross your right over leg over the left, right over left, and step out. And then it's left over right, step out.
Y'all can't see what's going on at the bottom here.
So I'm gonna warn you, I'm naturally a left-handed person first. So a lot of stuff is done off the left side first, not the right side. So the first step is right over left, step out, left over right, step out. And then when you turn around, we're gonna cross left over right, turn around, right over left, turn back around. So in the song is cross left to right and let your soul bounce. Turn around, bring it back, let your soul bounce.
Turn. Okay, I got it, brother. All right, I fixed the soul bounce, y'all. What? Okay.
So now at a diagonal going back to the left, you have 2 steps to the left and 2 to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So we go from the top. We're gonna go from the top. We got cross right over left, left over right. Turn around, bring it back. Then they slide back. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with your right hand, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Now comes the shimmy. So it's shimmy, 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 snap. And then shimmy, 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 snap.
That's in the prayers, sin prayers, okay? We're the prayer team doing this whole thing.
You didn't know you was coming to Carl dance practice tonight, did you, Karen?
Give me a flag. I need a flag or something.
The last 4 moves is with your right hand to your left shoulder. It's shoulder, shoulder, leg, leg. And then you just turn 4 steps to the right and we start over.
Y'all know this is gonna be a problem. We're gonna work it.
All right. So do y'all want to try this with the music?
I mean, we could try.
We can do it.
All right.
All right.
But we gonna.
All right. And DJ, you gonna count us in so we can start dancing together.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm not gonna share the video. We just gonna hear the music in the background. Y'all give me a thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe not. Give me a minute. Y'all know technology.
This is the best. I cannot wait to use this as a clip.
Lord. We got a whole bunch of names for this.
Turn up or tilted.
And now I'm stalling over here. So apparently your internet problem tried to come over here. So we internet problems over here too. Be gone. Ain't nobody got time for this. Okay. I don't know how it's gonna play or not, but it acted right the first time. That's all I can say on that. So we might have to move it out without the.
All right. Well,
that's fine.
Of course, we're gonna start playing as soon as we start moving.
That's fine. Right. Look, I'm kind of like, should I get my chair and sit down then?
I'm about to break
the internet. Karen over there grooving by herself. I'm a little jealous.
I got that part down. I got that part the other way.
You know what? All right, we're not going to be soul bouncing live with you tonight as I was hoping, but thank you so much, DJ, for taking the time to show us the steps and show that they're really not that hard. And thank you to Val and Miss Mary in the chat room acting up, encouraging my foolishness on tonight. You all have tuned in to the Unhinged Show Live. I am your host, Tilted Halo. You all right?
Oh wait, girl. Okay,
Everything fell apart.
Did it? I don't know where it fell. It's back though.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, Karen. Welcome back, Carter. This is the Unhinged Live Show. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, and that was thank you so much, DJ, for again indulging my foolishness on tonight. Before we wrap up this segment, I just want you to tell our listeners how they can connect with you if they want to book you for a show, have you come in and speak to folks in their ministries. Where can they get in contact with you?
You can contact me on TikTok, Instagram, all of it, or Twitter. All of it is at Walt_Leon. YouTube is Walt Leon Music TV. You can reach me on any of those. I have my notifications on, so if a message comes through, I'm gonna get the notification, and I reply to those just like I do my email. So you can reach me on any of the social medias, and I reply to them just as if it's a text message.
Thank you so much again for tonight, DJ. And hey, Karen, you already know what it is. We're about to keep this train moving because we got a little bit of time on our hands. So sugar, 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 sugar. Get your remote control. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. It's time. Oh, let me get some water. It's time to point your remote control at your TV screen. Merrily, 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 merrily. Find something to stream. That's right, y'all. It is time for that segment, Merrily Down, where we discuss what we've been watching on these internet streaming streets. Whether you watching whatever you watching through the internet, cable provider. We even introduce different audio books as we go merrily down the stream. So of course, I gotta highlight something that we had all been anticipating. Did y'all watch the Monique stand-up special out there on the Netflix streets?
I had started, but I started during Holy Week, and my shanana was bothered. So we gonna regroup again next week. That's
because he is risen. That's right.
Next week.
Okay. You gonna pick that back up next week? You couldn't handle all of that? Okay.
Because I'm one where I want to repeat something that I had heard, but I can't repeat what I had heard. So but Monique, she doing her thing out there, and she let y'all know she don't care nothing about her. But I did laugh I think I got 20 minutes in, and it was like, okay, well, we gonna come.
DJ, did you watch Monique's stand-up special?
No, man. Life has been lifing, and I have not sat down to watch it yet. Life got hands right now. So I've been busy.
Well, I actually sat down and did he say life has hands right now?
Mm-hmm.
Life has hands. Yeah. That's something.
Yes.
All right. Well, life has hands, and Monique does too, clearly in her stand-up special. She's sharing a whole lot about herself. A lot of it is a little bit TMI to some. But as it's titled, basically, she let us know in the title of the special that we was
Right.
gonna find out who she is and why she is the way she is. And during the special, she did let us know that she did attend the special ed classes. I guess in hopes to justifying some of the stories she was fixing to share with us all out here in the YouTube streets on Obama's internet. Listen, I'm excited that she finally got her opportunity to be featured in a project piece there on Netflix. But you know, a whole lot of people were expecting a whole lot more funny, and a whole lot less of her TED talk. And that's all I can really say about that. I celebrate everyone who gets to the small green screen, because y'all know that's my heart. That's the vision for Tilted Halo Broadcast Media, small screen. So I'm not gonna hate, but you know, I guess I could chalk it up to the fact that she's older than she was when we first met her out here in these streets. Um, and you know, maybe she's trying to keep a little act right in her spirit since you know she just got back, you know, invited to the cookout. Because you know, for a long time we ain't see Auntie unless she made her own waves out there on Instagram or somewhere else on one of these social media app streets. I don't know. But yeah, Monique came back and gave us a 1-2 punch. We're grateful. We're excited. But, you know, I'm just going to say it like this, on to the next, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I did do my best to try and stay off the news for Holy Week. Some people gave up chocolate. Some people gave up fighting. Some people gave up cussing. I
Well,
gave up. Huh?
I just said, well,
Listen, I gave up the news for a week, for Holy Week, because you know the news be getting on my nerves.
yeah.
Because I noticed the spin on so many of the different stories, and I wonder how we hear certain things like in a blip, and then we never hear of it again when it's something very important that we need to be talking about. But then like the foolishness is what they have the prolonged conversation about. Like, for instance, this is me putting the pedicure on. Let's go for a ride. Why do I care that Taylor Swift has broken up with yet another boyfriend? Why is that headline news? Karen, can you help me out with this? You know, I can't, I don't understand why the one who has a song where the verse says she's the problem, I'm the problem is me, is one of the lyrics in one of her songs. She can't keep a relationship. She's speaking prophetically over her life. Karen, why is Taylor Swift the head story?
So I'm going to bring Walt Leon and remind him about a conversation I recently had where I said most of the conversations, Walt Leon, with my good girlfriend Tilted are strategy sessions. Now, here is where I got to put my life coach hat on, and you sort of already answered your own question, Sister Tilted, evangelist, because
What?
what happened was what they call them. Are they Swifters? I don't know what they call the Taylor Swift people. Like they got a name for them with the Taylor
Swiffers? Ah, you know what?
I don't know. I forget what they call.
What are they called?
Wait, you know I gotta look it up. Y'all know Swifties. Okay, so the Swifties. This is important. Okay, cause they gonna probably need to know who to swarm next. That's what we gonna say on that one. Okay, got that? Okay, now we got to move real fast. Young lady who might have a praying family member didn't get taught the power of life and death is in your tongue. You know, if you say I'm the problem and you shouldn't be with me, you know what you're gonna keep on getting? Being the problem. Like this ain't hard. Sometimes, you know, we gotta go back to the Tony Braxton days and say, unbreak my heart. You listen, because that's a message of deliverance. And y'all, most of y'all ain't listening to this R&B music the way you should. But if you listen to the music, like back in the day, the R&B is like, I got you, I'm keeping you, never gonna leave you. We gonna do last night.
Listen.
Listen, we going back to what it is, okay? Even today's
Because
music, she living a
now
life.
you went back. You
Yeah.
went back because you talked about the Swifties, and lately we've been hearing about the Beehive because of all of the things and the coming against Beyonce. But Beyonce and them had a song back in the day talk about "Let me cater to you," because baby, this is your day. And check it out. Last time I checked, her husband. Oops. Somebody taught her some wisdom on how to keep a man.
Boy, it's gonna be whatever. But whatever comes out your mouth, listen, y'all probably getting into a little bit of the reflections of purpose, but what you speak is what you should expect to receive. Like, cause you know, who is that? Evangelist Deaconess India Ari said, cause the words that come out your mouth, you're the first to hear. How about that? Speak words of life and they will appear. I'm probably getting the lyrics wrong, but y'all get it. Like, if you speak in break up and damnation in your own life, well, we just waiting for the post because we knew it was coming. But I just wish one of the Swifties would tell her, you could do this, you know, with a couple of tweaks and changes. We're not saying be less than, you know, you ain't got to put up with foolishness, but relationship requires some type of give and take, sacrifice, those things. Walt, Leon, come on, help me. Like, you know, you done been
Well, he's a married man. He's a married man.
But I gotta come from the male's perspective on this one, and I'm big
Yes.
on accountability. And you know, Bishop Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I blame the dudes, because if you tell me that you're the problem and I still give you a shot, it's my fault for whatever comes next, because I gave you the shot after you told me what the problem was. So you got to take whatever comes with it. If I tell you up front I'm crooked and you still try to treat me like a straight line, no, that's your fault now.
First of all, we're going back to the Bishop Angelo. We appreciate, well, you right here. You with family right now. I need you to know, because truly the bishop up in here.
Yeah,
Angelo. Yes, she did tell us that I agree with you. If you trying to make a crooked line straight, that ain't the way none of this works. So you know, blessings to the Swifties. I'm sure you know it's some crying eyes, because most of these folks just waiting for the princess type wedding. They waiting for her to show up as sort of the Meghan Markle on the American side and find her have a grandioso big old wedding. But I do agree, you know, snag a man, tell everybody mind their business, and maybe dear Taylor, okay, we is yet praying for you. Are we on the petty pew right now? We is yet praying.
Yeah, we on the petty pew right now. We on the petty pew.
We on the petty pew.
We still on the petty pew. I'm parking it right here because another one of these stories, you know, you did kind of mention this in the pre-show conversation, Karen. You know, girl, I got to be real petty about the man of prayer, the Dalai Lama out here, practicing pedophilic behavior in public. And I cram to understand. So right now I'm on the petty pew. This might actually turn into an impactful and powerful conversation as I'm out here being petty as to why this old decrepit man would ask a young boy in public, after kissing him on the mouth, ask this young man to suck his tongue. What was he doing? Is this some type of ritual amongst the Buddhists? Because from my understanding, the Dalai Lama is the top dog in the Buddhist faith. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Is this something that they do as a private greeting at their closed door rituals? That now this man who was 89 years old is doing an apology tour. This happened actually, from what I've come to understand, this happened back in February. And here it is April. Well, we just now finding out about it. So yeah, I'm gonna park on the petty pew right now because this is a problem. And I don't think it's necessarily petty, because it's unfortunate this is someone that represents a particular sect of faith. All right, so I'm finna go there, y'all. Just get ready, buckle up your seatbelts. I'm tired of people that sit in headship in bodies of faith around the country, utilizing their power to take advantage of the least among us, the weak ones among us. And I believe this is a conversation that really does need to come to the forefront because we've heard it for years and years and years and years and years about the incidents of sexual abuse that's happened in the Catholic Church. Things that are being exposed that have happened allegedly behind closed doors for years and years and years. Now we see this sweet little respected young man do something publicly on a hot mic. And I know what my testimony is coming up in the Holiness Church, where we had a devilish deacon wanting to touch somebody he wasn't supposed to be touching, and we had shouting Sister Sandra in the corner who was saved and a little too sexy for her own good because she couldn't find herself outside of some other man's car or bed. But allow me to digress. This is a problem. And, I think the three of us here are brave enough to speak the truth to power. And this power is a dark power. It's a demonic power. And we're coming out of Holy Week, right? And shout out to Pastor Selena Brown. She preached and breaks off a word, one of her titles, because she had a subtitle as well. Murder was the case that they gave him, right? Mm-hmm. And she did open it up and broke down that Jesus was sent to the cross to basically murder the consequence of sin, to murder the power that it had over us. So can we have a conversation here about this man and the abuse of power that we just witnessed, and how touching a young person the wrong way can impact them in their lives for years to come? I just put that thought out there to spark the conversation. Looks like you got a whole lot to say on the subject, DJ. You want to weigh in on it?
Honestly, what I have to say isn't a surprise. I don't think these actions are anything new to him. I just feel like he just got caught. He just looking at the overall thing. He was too comfortable doing it. And I feel like behind closed doors, it's been happening for years. And now with so many people having cameras and so much access to instant media, he finally got caught. Because for years, it was always people coming out saying the Catholic priests and doing all this crazy stuff. And they label certain people in ministry or in faith somebody this high up. I feel like they've been doing it for a long time. And on the not so serious side, a lot of times as people get older and their concern and care goes out the window and they start doing things carelessly, their truths come out. And it's sort of like when they say drunk thoughts of a sober mind. The truths start coming out. And as he's, like you said, about 89, up there in age, you don't have so much care and control over your actions. You just start doing stuff, not thinking before you act. So I feel like this is true to who he's been all along. And this young man, this young boy could be traumatized because it happened not privately, but publicly. So now his face is attached to this moment for the rest of his life. But the thing is, what are they going to do about it? Do they remove him from his position of power? And how do they go about replacing him? It's so many layers to this one thing. And then it's how many other people has it happened to that wasn't done in front of everybody else. So now it's, then I hate to be this person. No, I don't. When they started talking about R. Kelly doing his stuff, everybody started coming out. When it was Bill Cosby, everybody started coming out. Is everybody else that has happened to, are they going to start coming out and pushing this against him as well? And building a case?
Oh.
So I'm a jump in because I think one of the biggest challenges that we see here is that as bad, misunderstood, whatever column we want to put this in, the reason why this is so detrimental to the young boy more than anybody else is social media. Because we could all feel how we feel when we see the video, or shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Definitely, the older you get, the less filters. I put no filters and no wise counsel, because somebody should be handling, and I mean that. When you a certain age, you need to have a handler, and that is ensure that the worst of you doesn't get the best of you. How about that part right there?
Yeah.
Because not to diminish anything that has been said, but now this one person has to bear the weight of all religions. Whether I don't think that they have something in place that says he can be replaced. Different than like the Catholic Church, you could sit somebody down. I don't know the Tibetan Buddhism, so I don't even know what is their governing path when it comes to that. But one of the challenges is this. We know that this is not brand new. And over the years, the powers that be have just gotten better in hiding it. They've got better in cloaking it. It happens not just with the Dalai Lama, but as you stated, Tilted, it's happening with the select people at the church up the street, at the storefront, at the mega church, wherever. Like this, there is no address that this could not show up as. But here's where the challenge is, and this is very important and strategic. We have to not only have accountability for the leaders, but we also have to have accountabilities for the people who are around the leaders. Because if I get out of pocket, I got folks around me who like, okay, Karen, you like get your behind off of social media, go ahead, sit your tail somewhere. I'm yet praying for you, and you need to go ahead and pray for yourself. That counsel has to be able to touch you in order to impact what it is that you do. And that's really the biggest thing that I saw a breach in. That could this man have been being reckless all along? Yeah, could have. And Tilted already know I'm the diplomat, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, what we got going on here? What's the deeper message? But it's more than just letting this man be out there with these wrong moments with no filter, because where the boy mama, I don't know where the aunties at. Where y'all know my answer to everything is, if aunties is auntie in the way that they used to auntie, half this stuff that we report about would never even happen. If y'all let aunties, because the auntie is the one that's coming up to the school and her shoe is already off her foot, so she can whoop somebody. She already in the principal face because she don't care nothing about him or what your mama and daddy is trying to be like. But we trying to be respectful. Auntie don't care, okay? She coming up in there and she wrecking shop. And I still say more aunties need to come through. I feel so badly for this young man because this will never go away. And any story that we would have put on it was bad enough. Now he is connected to this story forever, and there'll be more situations with him about regarding just the heartlessness of people young and old. So we could go on for a long time, but
Yeah, we could probably talk for 3, 4 different years straight about this foolery, but we're going to go ahead and turn it down and jump on to another topic of conversation. But, not for nothing. If y'all see something, say something in these church houses and in these community activities, because you know them public restrooms, things happen there too with grown folk and little kids and little kids too. It's a whole nother conversation, all right. But remain diligent as we seek to just be the change agents we want to see walking out here in the earth. So we're gonna move on over here to something that was a movement to represent a change that some felt was necessary, that went all the way wrong. What did I call this? The two that should have been three. Yes, 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 y'all. I am talking about the people who were expelled, the representatives who were expelled from Congress down in Tennessee, after they organized and led a peaceful protest, calling reform after a shooter walked into a school and killed three 9-year-old students. This is a Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee, where two African American representatives and one Caucasian American female representative led the call, led the cry. Next thing you know, they got called to the carpet, and only the African American males were expelled from their seats in power. Now, at the time of this conversation, we've come to understand that the council in town chose to vote Justin Jones back into his seat. So he's been put back into place, and we're waiting for them to do the right thing by Justin Pearson and put him back in place as well. But check it out. I was actually listening to CNN, and I heard one of the news reporters say that though Justin has been put back into his seat, they're still going to have another election to fill that seat. And pretty much, there's not necessarily a guarantee that either one of these gentlemen are going to regain their positions in power. And what, this is Justin Pearson and Gloria Johnson. Yeah, Gloria Johnson kept her job, and this is once again where we see how differently people of color are treated. Basically, no matter where we tend to go. Let me toss the mic to Karen on this comment. Karen, this right here, I'm sitting here going like this. Talk to me, sis.
And you know, one of the things is that most people may or may not be aware of the long history that Tennessee has in racism and classism, and the way that just the city is structured. Listen, at some point, this is what we voted our representatives in for them to represent the voice of the people. So if the people in a particular district is crying, everybody else we voted in should be crying with us. But we are so accustomed to the privilege of our governmental representatives that this seemed foreign for the people who should have been coming alongside them. Of course, very not fair, but regular, because I don't feel like it's a racist statement for me to say white women know that they are protected. And Gloria done said that for herself. She said, I'm a 60-year-old white woman. They are young black men. We knew how this was going to go. But at what point do we step to tradition? Do we step to the wrong legacy that's been here in America for a long, long time and say, we not our great-great-grandparents. We not our great-grandparents. We are not our grandparents. Y'all gonna have these conversations. You are going to address the issues that are literally killing the next legacy. We've got more school shootings, more people. You know, I had a conversation today. I don't even remember what day it was. Probably was yesterday. Somebody telling me about a shooting somewhere. And when your statement is, wait a minute, which one? Which one was that again? Was that the one with the school kids?
Oh, well,
Like we too far in. We too far in.
It's too many of them to keep up with. I hate to say it that way, sis.
I had to apologize. I said, forgive me, but I hate to say it, and I hate to say it this way, but which one? And then each of these has some type of twinge or something else that you can differentiate the most current one from the last one. But here's the common denominator: legislation is not doing anything. And if you come in my backyard and y'all doing something crazy, not only are you going to meet Susie May. Walt Leon don't know who Susie May is. For y'all who don't know who Susie May is, I am a concealed carry licensed gun owner. Come over here if you want to. You're going to get Jesus and something else. Okay, now, here we go. With that, there's a responsibility that we have to our children. We have to our communities. That means that I get to keep me safe. But I also want my entire, these loud behind children that be running back and forth, I want them to be safe the same way that I protect myself and have my personal safety. We all are out here in these streets doing something different. What you consider saving, yourself and your children and your family, y'all do that. If having a gun in your house ain't the thing for you, it's fine. But here's the thing. As a responsible gun owner, we've been trained in what to do. Whether the person blocking on each of these incidences has been trained or not, it's not even a thought, because we can't even be grown enough to sit down and have a conversation and say, it's too much. It's too much. And that's the thing. So respect for every person that has been involved in supporting them standing up, because it's what if it wasn't Tennessee, I might think about going roll on over there and go ahead and register for a little while and then come back. But it's Tennessee, child.
Girl, you might not make it back.
Yeah, right. Sure, because we can't say more. I will incriminate myself if I say more. So, but it's a real thing. And how do we support our legislators and say, that's what you're supposed to do? Like, you punishing somebody because the decorum wasn't what it should be, in your opinion, in your perspective. But when we out here creating opportunities for indentured servitude, nobody not saying nothing about that. Nobody is saying anything about, excluding educational opportunities for people who can use it for the come up. Don't get me started. This all played out the way that I feel like it needed to play out to continue important conversations about race in America. We sit in seats that they don't want to give the power up for. And unfortunately, in this day and age, who pays for it? The constituents. Because that's what this is all about. We want these Black young men coming up in here, showing their strength and showing their power. And the demeanor and the way that these men have represented, like, I can't even begin to say how very proud I am to be able to witness that they can do this. But at the same time, heartbroken at the fact that they have to. These men are qualified for the positions that they are in. They are working to better the people in their constituency, and they're getting ridiculed. And like, listen, y'all come over here if you want to.
Girl.
You only coming so far to belittle me. You got about 3 words, and then you're going to know every bit of Jesus that I know, because that's the only thing that I'm going to be. Listen, you're going to know all of it, and then I'm going to probably.
Because they're going to come to know him.
Right.
Because why? It could be whatever.
They're going to come to know him.
From the top, then you're going to know him. So, all right.
Well, listen, DJ, I know you got something to say, brother. Come on with it.
I'm not surprised. Like you said, it's Tennessee. This is Tennessee's history. But for so long, these people in positions have been able to talk a good game and act like they're going to be there for people and do what's right for the people. This was a moment of action where it was able to expose who really stands with them and who's just in a position talking good. And as you can see, who's really standing with them are far more outnumbered. But it had to be exposed. And like you said, they have to now, time for election again, come around for their positions. Now the people have a chance to really put something into action. I'm a firm believer that, and I like to be optimistic at times, but then I also am realistic. I'm a firm believer that these laws and things aren't really going to be changed until something starts happening to the family members of the people that has the power to change them. The people that make that
Oh,
call when it's their mother, their son, their loved one, their grandchild who's shot at a school, doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom, learning where you sent them to, a private school, a Christian school who's shot in a classroom. Once it's your personal family member and it's near and dear to you, then they're going to make that change. Until then, they don't feel threatened because they feel safe and they feel covered. So, like, I salute the two that's really out there standing by themselves. And I know the lady was also trying to help, but like you said, she's a older white woman. She's protected anyway. She had nothing to lose by standing out there with the people. She was safe anyway.
oh, mm.
And it says so much more about the two that knew the color of their skin and who they are by standing with the people. It says so much more about them and the respect that they get from the community and the area that they stand for. So it's not fair, but that's the way America was built from the start. So it's no surprise at all.
No surprises, no surprises, no surprises at all. Good stuff, good stuff. And just want to add before we get to the reflections of the purpose, that Justin Jones has already shared that he recognizes that his time may be limited as he's been reinstated into his position, and that he plans to use his power. He has, as a freshman, um, politics, so to speak, he has the opportunity to introduce and have at least 13 bills on the floor. So y'all in Tennessee, y'all better holler at your boy and see what he getting ready to uh, present, to hopefully have implemented as law to impact change in your communities over there. It saddens my heart that we ain't but 5 minutes outside of slavery. We ain't but 3 minutes outside of sharecropping. And here it is, in the country that is often recognized as the land of the free and the home of the brave, that we are witnessing this another Martin Luther King type moment, Jesse and Al them moment in politics. Our prayers go with you, Justin, as you out there doing your thing, while you got the scepter in your hand. So thank you again, DJ, for hanging on in here with us for the entirety of the show.
Sure.
You never know, I might be tapping you on the shoulder just to come in and sit with us as a guest, because you have such a powerful voice and everything you have to say has weighty power. So thank you again. Thank you again for everybody who has tuned in to Unhinged Live with us tonight. We do not take your consistent support for granted. We say thank you again, even to our replay viewers. So as we get ready to get up out of here, we got to send you out like our mama and them raised us to do. We got to send you home with a plate. We're going to send you home with a hefty meal. So prepare yourselves, get your hot sauce, get your fork, your knife, your salt, your pepper, your little lemon pepper, Cajun seasoning, whatever it is that you like. Prepare yourselves for yet another meaty meal. We get ready to receive from our very own in-house master life coach, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. She's coming at it with another reflection of purpose. Let's go, sis.
Thank you for that setup. Listen, if one thing we've heard, and we try to be relevant every time we come to you each and every week, y'all know y'all always get a title. Today's title is Time to Make That Change. It's time to make that change in your life. And many of us, you know, we already in the full swing of spring. If this weather cooperate, I know y'all done gone outside and it's like, is it winter, fall? What area and season are we in? Well, the season that we in requires for us to show up and do the work. And many of us are trying to figure out, well, where do I start? It looks too big. I've set a goal. This is the direction that I want to go into. Or you see something and you just want to make the change. I want to remind you all of the conversations that we had tonight supports it. So if you missed something, go ahead back on the replay as we talk about if you are not seeing the change in your community, perhaps you are the change and it's time for you to make that step up. For those of you who follow me on my YouTube, y'all already know the world is waiting for us. The world is waiting for you. You are the answer to the thing. As we talked about Tennessee, as we talked about global state of religion, there's so many areas that our love, our light is needed in the world. But unless we take up the banner and understand what it means when we say it's time to make that change. Way back in the day, probably 30 years ago, the Winans had that song. It's time to make the change. We are the people. We can do it. We want to come alongside you, not just to motivate you for good words, but we want to help you with strategy on how to get it done. So here you go real quick. Set a goal for yourself. Set a goal for your family. Think about what you want to leave behind as a legacy. If this week was the last week, how would you set up your week to ensure that you reached a marker or a benchmark every single day so that by the end of the week, literally, you would be able to reach a milestone in your goal. See, when you make it that serious and you understand the fact that we don't have time to waste, we don't have time to wait for the perfect time. We are the creators of the perfect time. Take that accountability and that responsibility in your own life and watch how powerful and impactful you get to be. I love it because we welcome my good new friend, Walt Leon. Him and Tilted go back, but literally see a life, touch a life, change a life. Here, y'all already know when it comes to Twisted Threads, we are here to inspire, impact, and transform. That is the direction that we want to see you go into because we don't want your life just to be a status quo. We want to help you make a mark in this world. So remember those things as you set in your goal. We don't got time for the perfect time. Today is that time to make a change. Be inspired and go ahead and do that thing. Why? Because y'all know what I'm here for. I'm here for the cake. So please don't prolong it and don't keep me away from my celebration as we celebrate the greatness that's inside of you as well. And that's it. Tilted, back at you.
Thank you, girl. You done tossed me this mic back. It's so hot. I think you about cinched my fingertips, but that's all right. I love it. And I'm definitely encouraged to continue to be the change we need here in the earth. So y'all already know. Ready to let y'all go, and I'm going to encourage you to just be. And I think I said this one before, but I'm going to say it again because I just feel like it needs to be said again in y'all shout out and in your hearing. So just be. I just need you all to just be who the world told you you could not be before you believed them. You know, before you believed that you couldn't be a writer, before you believed you couldn't be the best hip hop artist, before you believed you couldn't be the best dancer, before you believed it, go back. Dream again, believe again, and just be who you were predestined and created to be. Because after all, sugar, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. It's your girl, Tilted Halo, my good girlfriend, Karen Sims, DJ Davis, Walt Leon. His mama named them all in names. And we love you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. And we love y'all too. We see y'all again next week with yet another special guest. We are Unhinged Live, and we are out. Peace.